are partners in life, or partners on stage, are partners in the studio. You guys write together, you're recording together. How does that work?
Okay, let's back up.
I have a couple of things also to say because
we need now when we work together in the studio, we have to bring somebody in.
Seriously?
Yeah, because it's rough. It's rough in the studio.
I was about to tell this. Yes,
I mean,
you know
if you want to get into some gossip, there you go. That's the gossip. Like it gets harder and harder to work together in the studio because we're both very passionate. We both have our own ideas. Adina has amazing ideas, but we both. But sometimes getting the result. When you're an artist, it's not a straight line. This takes you to there, and that takes you to there, and so we definitely need a mediator in the studio when we're working together.
That does what?
That is
what does the mediator do?
Like, for example, we got like writing, you mean, or like
just in general,
recording, for example. Maybe
like the last track, Waves of High. When we worked on Waves of High, I did the track. And I left it for her and Gabriel.
Yeah, we had Gabriel, Romanian.
Gabriel, we won.
Exactly.
Yeah, he came to my
he came. So he took the track with Adina and they wrote the top line and re-recorded her singing. Yeah. And then I back up. And now they're in control of the of the studio.
We're so good with him.
And then I would chime in every now and then with ideas or hey, let's try this, then that, and then but back off and let them do their thing. And then they give me, when Adina's finished, and then I finish it.
So do you leave your arguments in the studio and you unplug and go quietly home, or you?
It takes a little bit to decompress after. But luckily, I'm usually I go from the studio right to the airport, so it's like okay, we have a cool down period when I'm on tour.
Oh my God, you guys are so cute.
No, but like I said, we're just very passionate. We love what we do, and it's not always a straight line to get the result. But
did Adina, coming from Romania, from a totally different culture, did she change your way of seeing music? Like, did she bring,
For sure. It's, I don't ever like to say that I'm commercial, but Adina brought the sense of there's a bigger net that you can throw out there, And I remember, when we did the song Muse, that was a perfect example of like, how do you take, something that I'm very I'm very strict when it comes to like, this is what my sound is. This is what my fans expect from me. But how can we take this and we can add something that's more accessible? And I think Muse, for example, we did that track maybe over 10 years ago now, or about 10 years.
10, yeah.
Yeah. And that was like the beginning of where it really became clear on where the parameters are, where we can both cast a wider net and at the same time, all my fans love it.
They loved it, yeah.
They love it, yeah. So
of
all
course.
of the tracks we try and every now and then I compromise and say, all right, let's, this is a great song that you wrote, I'll produce it and let's go, She has an amazing new track that she just did that is called Whispers, and it's just going to be her solo. And it's amazing. I'm like,
we haven't heard it yet.
No, I have to finish it. I mean, it's like 99%. Yeah. I'm putting a little final touches on it, but it's amazing, and that's a perfect example where Adina really took the lead, and I just like sat back and just like, okay, here you go.
We can't wait to hear it.
Of course.
I can't wait to finish it.
I
have time now.
You have also a music label. Are you helping new talents?
That's my passion, has always been discovering new talent. I don't know what it is. It's like, I feel like I take an artist from discovering them to like here, and then it's like someone else want to take them, from here, and let me go back to finding new artists. There's something about when you find a new artist and, that it's that innocent passion. I love that. I feed off of that,
Innocent passion, yeah. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many people know the story of how you guys met, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Did you start working together first?
Yeah, we were in the studio.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we were
Where?
here in Miami.
Yeah. No, actually, we started like working remotely, right? Like you were working on your album, and I was sending in some top lines for his Scream album, and then he told me.
Because you were in Romania.
Yeah, exactly. And then he told me you have to come to Miami to re-record the vocals. I'm like, okay.
To record
to re-record
the vocals.
okay. Yeah, so I came to Miami for like a week or 10 days, I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
And very, very professional. We were like, we felt all the...
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot, there was energy there, electricity, but we were very, very professional for the first 6 months.
Admit it, right? Like, because we were trying to like keep it like, you know, we never like to...
Don't want to mix
combine.
things.
We combine, you know.
But you guys knew.
Right?
Yeah. There was the electricity for sure. Well, I mean, I knew. I don't know how, you know.
No, for sure. And then when I went to the airport, that was like a funny moment, actually. It was kind of funny. Like, he took me to the airport to go back, and he just grabbed my hand. That was the first time when he actually grabbed my hand, like, for the first time ever. And then...
Why did you do that, Markus?
Exactly.
I had to like give some kind of sign. It was like, she's going to the airport, so it's like, you know.
If I'm not going to make
something.
Worst case, she says, what are you doing? And then it's like, you know.
By mistake.
Yeah.
But she responded.
Yes.
Well, and then what happened? Like a bunch of, like, I think like a group of fans came.
That was really funny. That was
funny.
really funny. It's like I grab her hand and we're walking through the airport, and it was just kind of like not awkward, but it was just like a surreal moment. And then these pilots came up to me and they're like, "Are you Markus Schulz? Can we take a picture with you?" And at that point, I was like.
And then what did I do?
She said, "How much did you pay them to do that?"
How much did you pay them?
Did he impress you?
To impress me. Now I had to leave, of course, and we started talking on messages every day. It was interesting because at the beginning of our relationship, we had like a long-distance relationship. I was touring Europe.
She was touring this way. I was touring that way. We were all like, we were always in different cities.
But we understood each other because we did the same thing. So, you know, like that's so important. We were like always on Skype, like on those times, always like, you know, try to like... But
that was
actually
fun.
Worked.
Sometimes I would take the laptop and set it up in the DJ booth on Skype. And then she'd be sleeping and I'd be DJing. And then she'd just wake up and see me. And then it's like... and it's the same thing
she
with
was
her.
there with you.
She'd turn on Skype in the dressing room before she goes on stage. And,
guys, that's so romantic.
If I think back now at like everything that we've done to make it work, it's like, if you want to make it work, you can make it work, you know? That's the true. And like nowadays, I was just thinking, as we have friends, of course, like, you know, here in Miami especially, that are like, I have single, and they're always asking like, oh, wow, you know, it's like sometimes it's hard to find nowadays that you're like in a world where everything's so accessible, right? Like it's like a click away of like the internet or everything. Anyway, it's so important if you want to make it work, even if you're an ocean apart, right? Like, am I getting into a different direction?
No, it's actually, it's very real and very true. And you're right, with all this dating apps, it's harder and harder. But do you guys think that it was meant to be? Do you believe in destiny?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That actually, the song "Destiny" came of how we met. It was just like,
the lyrics and everything.
The lyrics are all about our relationship. Hello, how did you find me? Where have you been hiding? Because the first time I met her, it was like, well, like, where have you been? You know, like I know you. I know everything about you, even though I just met you. And where have you been? You know, a lot of people like to see a beautiful bird flying, and then they take that beautiful bird and they're like, I love this bird, and then I want to take it home, and then when it's home, I want to they put it in a cage, right? And then they're like, they get bored of it. What did you fall in love with?
Beautiful.
Yeah, you fell in love with this beautiful bird that's flying. So the idea is like you know, when I met Adina, I didn't want to like, you know, have a relationship where it's like, okay, you're, you know, settle down and all that. No, I want to continue admiring you flying. And you have to encourage that. You have to keep doing what you're doing. Keep flying like a beautiful bird. I don't want you to be in a cage.
Because that's who you fell in love with.
That's who I fell in love with, exactly. I love it when she's like, I'm going on tour, I'm going to the studio.
Otherwise, she would have lost his peculiarity. Of course.
Like, I don't want to hold her back. I want to encourage her. And she also doesn't want to, are you going on tour again? Like, let's do, it's like, no. She's like,
go. Fly.
So yeah, it's having having a partner in life, having a partner in the business, having a partner in crime, having, just somebody like that you share everything with.
Yeah. You guys have this new project, and I actually went to your party, and it's amazing, the Rabbit Hole Circus.
Yeah.
I've been to the club, and how did this whole circus idea came from? It's absolutely fabulous.
How did it come out? Where did it come from, Adina?
And Adina is singing, right?
Yeah.
And Helene.
And Emma Hewitt.
And Deandra.
Deandra Faye is on. Yeah. Sarah DeWarren came down. Yeah. She's blowing up right now. She does that song with Ellie Brown, Be the One. And then I did a track with her on the album. And then, I don't know if you remember, maybe a little, this was back in my teenage years, but I did a collaboration with Pretty Poison. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I'm a very nostalgic person. So like a lot of these
I am too.
I listened to when I was young, when I was like, before I started DJing, I had I listened to Pretty Poison when I was very young, and I had the opportunity to work with Jade from Pretty Poison, and we made an amazing track. So she performed as well with us, and it was aerialists, singers, and it's called the Rabbit Hole Circus, and it was.
It's a fabulous show.
I don't want you to feel old, but I attended your gigs more than 15 years ago.
When I was a teenager.
Yeah.
When you were there at the breakdance gig. Yeah. No,
Speaking of Rabbit Hole Circus, though, like I think next year we're gonna have 3 more at the same place, 3 more shows. Like right, probably.
Nothing until next year.
In Miami.
In Miami.
It's October already.
Yeah.
It's like New Year's Eve is only like 12 weeks away. 8 weeks.
No, because I would love to see it again.
We'll do it again. Diara. Yeah.
Do you have any upcoming collaboration?
So I'm starting to work on like the follow-up for the Rabbit Hole Circus. So working with Deandra Faye again. I've got Adina and I have been throwing around some ideas as well. So yeah, that's how it starts. You just start like one by one.
I quit with Emma.
Yeah. Oh, the next single is I'm sorry. The next single that's coming out in a couple of weeks, next week, is with Emma Hewitt. It's called Till We Fade, and it's amazing. It's one of the big tracks that I play in my sets. Since the day we made it. Mm-hmm. I tested it out, and people will go crazy, and it's finally being released as a single with the video.
That's fabulous. We can wait to see it. So I know that Stefano prepared something talking about nostalgia.
Yes.
I
have something for you. Let me see. I want you to...
You have real fans here.
No, it's very weird that I have a completely different perspective from the Markus I met when I was a fan. And I remember his gigs at the government in Toronto. How long ago?
Yeah, the government's been closed for almost 10 years
I remember
now, right?
you playing a State of France 450 with Armin at the government in Toronto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I actually have a piece of the dance floor.
Oh.
When they tore the building
Seriously?
down.
That's a secret. There you go.
They sent me a piece of the dance floor.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because the club doesn't exist anymore.
No, it's
So it was kind of cool, to just kind of keep...
For those that don't know, Government was a legendary club in Toronto. We had some amazing nights there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you have a picture?
I still think.
I have something from the Palladium in LA.
I remember that show. That was a show that I did with Ferry Corsten. I remember that show very clearly as well. Ferry and I went to Clio for dinner before we went to the show. And we,
It was a fun night.
It was a great night.
I remember also at the end of the show, your fans couldn't leave you going backstage. And it was full of people, and you were, entertaining, all the pictures and all the autograph and the stuff, and the floor went nuts that night.
That was a beautiful night. A lot of Los Angeles always very passionate.
I love LA and I love LA floor.
Yeah. I love LA.
It's completely different. So let's go to.
You also asked Adina to marry you in LA
New Year's Eve,
in Avalon.
2017.
Yeah. Which Avalon is also a huge, famous scene. Were you nervous? Like, how?
Oh yeah, of course. Because my mom was there, my dad was there, Adina's mom and dad were there, and it was we had a whole little thing planned where it was like Adina's gonna sing, and in the middle of her set,
stopped it.
I crashed the set, and she like boom, and the music went dead.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was like, just stay there, just talk to the audience. And then she
But you didn't expect it, you didn't know anything. You didn't know your parents were there?
Well, I knew my parents are there, but I mean, of course, it was the first time when my parents and his parents flew to LA, and we were I was just thinking that this is a trip for them.
They just met each other that night?
No. They met before, but it was the first time when we were actually spending...
We did a family trip.
A family trip, yeah. They were supposed to see Hollywood and, visit all the famous places in LA, and I was thinking that it's all about the parents,
Yeah.
This is a trip for the parents, so... Yeah, I didn't expect it's going to be, they are there for that, so, yeah.
So I'm going to nominate 3 of your tracks.
Okay.
And you have to give me who was Markus as an artist.
Okay.
And as a man.
Okay.
That time.
Let's do it. I'll try.
This time, and who is going to be Markus in the future.
Oh, okay. All right.
So.
I think I got the concept.
You won't see me cry.
Oh, wow. That was I think that was... That was one of my very, very, very early songs. And at the same time, I was going through a lot of hard times at that time. So that's definitely the young, the previous Markus. Definitely. Insecure, but strong and determined.
Hard from what point of view?
I started off at the bottom.
In London? Is something like in London?
Yeah, it was London. I lived in my studio that was under the railroad tracks.
So you call her
didn't have a shower, didn't have a bathroom. I would go to the gym and go shower there every day. It was rough. No heat. Just a little, box.
That's how art is created.
It was amazing. When I look back, it was rough, but you won't see me cry.
Ever.
I'm going to go through this, but you're not going to see me cry. I'm going to do it.
And who was Markus since you are about to fly to Amsterdam, who was Markus of Amsterdam?
Finally, starting to see a little bit of light, So it's interesting because my first album was called Without You Near. And they always say your first album is a lifetime in the making, meaning that everything from the moment you were born to that album, you go on all of your emotions, memories, and everything. It goes into that first album. That's why so many people's first album is so powerful and amazing. And then you become famous and you become, rich and you become traveling the world and everything. And okay, now do your next album. And it's I'm a changed man now. I'm
rich.
I'm not depressed anymore. I'm not I'm not going. So the second
I achieved my goal,
Exactly. So I think that Amsterdam was when I was a light, the whole beginning, that's where the light started to really shine. And, Amsterdam is a special city for that. They were one of the first international cities to embrace me to that level.
And you are about to fly to Amsterdam. So what we can expect from Amsterdam, this upcoming Amsterdam dance event?
Well, I'm playing my yearly show at Melkweg in Amsterdam, which is legendary venue. Everybody's played at Melkweg, Nirvana to biggest DJs and everything. And
I wish I would come with you guys.
Yeah.
tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock in the morning is the flight. Let's go. But we sold. This is what our 5th year selling it out.
Yeah.
Sold out.
Close, yeah.
It's sold out. Like in the summer, it was already sold out. So for me, Amsterdam is still giving me love, and it's amazing.
And do you feel the responsibility to entertain for this long time your, music fans?
Yeah, because you know what?
Because it's a different audience than the one you find in music festivals.
But I always say when I look out at the audience, I'm like, somebody out there needs this. And so I always try to give them my best. So it's like, I don't look at it like, 3, 4, 5,000 people. I always look at it like, who is it? Who's out there? Somebody out there needs this. And I'm going to give that to you.
About that, do you think that certain frequencies can heal you or like take you to a different dimension or save your soul? It's just like you have a huge responsibility, towards that. Like,
yeah, I always put myself in my shoes when I was young and going through the hard times. Like whenever I'm like starting to get tired, it's like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's like, I'm grooving, but the vibe is real. I'm like, I try to imagine myself as a young guy out there who has these dreams out there listening to me. And I know it's weird, but I always imagine myself as a youngster out there in the crowd.
What is the reality behind a music icon? Because when you are a fan and you go, you see the person behind the booth like a king, like you have a different consideration. But behind the booth, there is a human being, there is a person, there is a husband, there is a father, there is an artist with all his, good days, bad days.
I think that when you're up on stage, when you're in the booth, you become not a character, but you're different. It's not until you get off the stage or you're out of the DJ booth that you become a father or a husband. You're in a role when you're up there, and my mindset is I'm so hyper focused when I'm up there that what they are getting is the true me at that moment. They're really getting what I'm feeling and my passion. So
it's a natural switch.
So
it's
is that the only moment in which you feel fully yourself and free to do what you like, what you want?
I feel at peace on stage. Yeah. I mean, I love being in the studio, but when I'm in the studio, I'm like, I cannot wait to play this on stage.
So do you consider yourself more a producer or a DJ?
I think more of a DJ, just because that's how I started. But when I had, when I'm producing albums and everything, I'm happy in the studio creating, the creation process. Like I said, when I'm creating a song, I get so excited. I cannot wait to play this in front of 10,000, 20,000 people.
Because these days we see so many producers and always less DJs, right?
I don't know. I see a lot of DJs.
I know. I'm telling you because the majority of these producers want to show their music and their releases without, putting this much effort in mixing. It's just a showcase for many of them. Yeah. For the rest of them, there is more of art of mixing and more relationship with the crowds, with the audience, with the floor. But many of them these days have the only interest in promoting their own releases. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it goes to the introvert, extrovert. There's some DJs and producers very introverted, where they just want to create, and that's as much as that they want to share with the world. They want to share their creation, but they don't necessarily want to share the performing of with the people. And that's where I think the introvert, extrovert.
I think it's meaning more like, this like young DJs right now that they are producing a song that becomes overnight a hit. And then they have to learn how to DJ because they are being booked as a DJ in different places, right? And some of them are just kind of like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to get some courses now. I'm going to learn how to DJ. But
and they have to do it.
Yeah, they have to do it because they've been like asked
but not
for.
necessarily like in love with that.
Maybe
like,
it's not
Correct,
passion.
yeah.
It's true because one of the, we were talking about this, how Avicii, unfortunately, was one of the sad stories because, he knew personally Avicii. And I remember he was telling me he had several conversations with him backstage, like how he was actually complaining he's being depressed and he doesn't like to be on stage. He said that he has anxiety when he goes up there in front of all the people. He always had to drink,
He's very nervous.
Almost like he had to have like a lot of,
Yeah, that was not his comfortable place. His comfortable place was in the studio.
In the studio, he was a producer.
And then when a success like that comes overnight, and you have a management team and you have a contract and you have to go, you have to honor, the shows, the contract and everything. It's just hard. You got to get into that role and you're going to continue being, And then we come back to what Jim Carrey was saying. Sometimes depression is like your avatar telling you that it's tired of the character you're playing. So I almost feel like it's an industry that it's so important to just kind of follow your passion, and it's so important to feel like, this is what
But in this case, Markus has you as a partner during his tour in order to be supportive.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he loves it.
And this is absolutely an additional value that the two of you have.
Yeah, and now Liam. Because
yes,
now,
of course.
Now there's
Liam is your bigger,
biggest
supporter.
your biggest release, of course.
And let's see if he follows in mom and dad's footsteps.
He's actually already.
Would you done that for him?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, as soon as possible, he's gonna take piano lessons.
Yes. Are you introducing him some music instruments for babies?
Oh yeah, he's got everything at home already. He's got some drums. He's got little piano. He's got a little
baby's going
thing.
to festivals and parties.
But let me tell you something. It's like he always says he loves music, and he says to me, he goes, oh, and it's like, okay, he loves the song Circles by Post Malone, and then I play it for him, and the part goes, oh, and he closes his eyes, and he just moves his head like this.
He's an artist.
He has it in his soul already, where it's like when there's an emotional moment in the song, he closes his eyes and just loses himself. And he's only 19 months old.
But he's touring already.
I every time when I put him to sleep, I always sing him to sleep, or I play music for him. And now to the point when he's actually asking for his favorite songs on YouTube, and he's telling me, "No, Mama, that song," or he wants to see.
But Markus, he has in his blood due to his father and his grandfather music.
And his mom.
And his mother, indeed. So,
of course.
Yeah, so it's a full
circle
participation in the music industry. So
next generation, right there. No, it's going to be amazing to see.
And do you want your son to become a DJ, or is a path that you wouldn't recommend?
No, it's
whatever he wants, right?
If he's passionate about it, of course I want him to be a DJ.
If he's passionate about it, we're gonna.
And I'm gonna teach him, teach him the right way, teach him the art.
What's next in your guys' career?
Well, it's we just released a single last week, right? And I've been touring, and now. I'm gonna have to release another single, and he has another.
But we just keep doing. We just love it. This is our life. You know what I mean?
It's beautiful.
This is it.
Life,
We're just gonna keep going.
Where will you be for Christmas and New Year's?
New Year's Avalon in LA, and then Christmas
every year, right? You've been at Avalon for how many years?
Exactly.
Many years, many years. Every year, basically.
You don't even know how many, right, anymore?
It feels how is a movie?
It's amazing.
It repeats itself,
And it's your guys' anniversary, basically, because that's when you propose.
Yeah. No, we have a special connection with Avalon, and I'm very grateful to the people of LA because we've sold it out every single year. I play from doors open until doors closed.
It's a very nice venue, indeed, of course.
The vibe, it's so amazing. Everybody has to do that one time in their life.
Yeah, it's definitely on all of my fans' bucket list, and that's the beautiful thing. It's I always say, when I do these big open and close shows, I love to do them in cities where people, it's not just going to the club or to the venue. There's a whole experience. So when people come from Europe, they come to Hollywood, and they have that whole experience of the whole weekend. Same thing when I play here in Miami. Like, these are amazing host cities where you feel proud to bring your fans here from all over the world because you know, yeah, they're going to have an amazing time at the club, but at the same time, they're going to have an amazing time in the city.
That is the most beautiful part of Miami also.
Yeah. Miami is an amazing host city. And so thank you, Miami, for always taking care of our
Miami.
fans.
And thanks to Markus and Adina, indeed, for being here tonight.
Thank you so much, guys. You're amazing.
It was a pleasure.
For sure.
This is our first episode, of our podcast, and it's been amazing having you.
I think we've been
Thank you so much.
I know. Much for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Figure out how to cut that down to 30 minutes, right?
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.